Welcome back, dear friends, to Knowledge Attic channel. So, a previous video was just to learn and get the information of the different types of communication that is available. Now, let us go more deeper into it. So, as I mentioned, these types of communication should be understood and we have to learn the tricks to master in it. So, what are the different types of ways we can use the communication in a better way? So, now I am going to tell few important points that will be supporting you to learn about the communication and how you can excel in it. So let us now start. Are you all ready? So, first we'll go with what? The one that we have been using every time. So, what is that? Verbal communication. So, what is this verbal communication? So, as I said, it is an usage of words to express the communication in the form of words, and it is going to be in the form of one-on-one conversation, conferences, meetings, presentations, your phone calls, whatever it may be. It is going to be the verbal communication. I mean, we pick up a call and talk to our manager. We pick up a call and talk to our clients. Pick up our phone and talk to our customers. All that is this is a part of verbal communication. So, if we have to communicate it properly, we should learn what are the important points we have to remember while communicating. So, first of all, you have to try to remember the point is that um, you should be confident enough while starting the conversation. So, we have to know what we are trying to tell the information. So, if it is a presentation, as I mentioned earlier in our previous video, you have to have the proper information on the topic we are going to present. And if it is a meeting, we have to have a proper agenda before we are starting a meeting. And if it is an uh, if it is a normal conversation, we have to have the clear idea about what we are going to talk. Now, let us now see how we are going to talk. So, before initiating any conversation, what we have to remember is that we should have the confidence in us to start the conversation. And next one is that we have to make it in a very simple way. So whatever it is, it may be a meeting, presentation, your conferences, your academic conferences, whatever it may be, you have to have the idea that the conversation you're going to start is in a very simpler way. So you have to make note of the points that you're going to tell, and we have to have the use the simple ways to converse in the audiences so that the audience will understand it better way. So no need to just keep on elaborating the point. You have to stick to the particular point, say it in a straightforward way. And next one is that we have to use we should avoid using the fillers. So we should stop using ha, all these fillers that will be used. So when we keep on using the filler words, the audience will be very bored and very frustrated to listen to our conversation. So we should avoid the filler words that is being used. So we have to have the clear information in our hand. Next, we should avoid using the filler conversation, and we have to have the idea about what we are going to talk. And after that, we have to have the precise knowledge of what we are going to converse. So all this is very important when we are going to start an one-on-one conversation. Clear? So now you have got an idea how an one-on-one conversation is going to be done. Okay, you have to have the apt knowledge. We have to have beforehand itself. You have to have the information, and we should avoid the filler words. So next one is what the non-verbal communication. So for this, I'll just try to tell a very good example. So non-verbal communication is that using the facial expression, body language to express the conversation. So let us try to understand. We are going to attend any meeting or conversation or presentation, whatever it may be. There is a person who is going to just stick to the wall, and he is just standing straight there and he's keeping on talking to the wall. So what, as an audience, we will get bored, right? So any person who is going to just listen to something as a way in a very robotic format, what they will feel is that they will feel very bored. So so what we have to try to inculcate here is having a good body language. We have to use the good facial expression to express the sentences. We have to stand in a very good position. We have to stand in a very casual way. Standing very stiffly in the front of an audiences will also make them lose the confidence. It will look as though we are feared to present our information. So we have to have the correct body language. Stand in a very casual way. Just look at the audiences in a very pleasant way, and the pleasant feeling should come towards your eyes. By looking at your eyes itself, people should be able to understand that they are going to enjoy the key conversation they are going to listen, so they will not get bored. And not at for not and here what we have to do is that not a part of the speaker also, but as an audience also, what we have to try to do is that we have to uh, we have to have a good body language while listening. So what we have to do is that we have to sit in a very proper way. We have to sit erectly, and we should not lean or come forward just like that. We are going to get out of this session. So we have to sit in a very proper way. We should have any note or something like that to make the notes of the meeting or conversation, what is that is conferences or lecture that is going on. We have to have a note on our side to make the key points, and we should also have an good facial expression. So, like we have to say, shake our heads when we should avoid the repetitive words that we are using, and we have to keep on following the speaker's words. Yes, and we have to shake the head so that speaker will be convinced to continue more with the conversation. So, as a part of the speaker, also one should have a good body language, facial expression. As a part of an audience, also one should have a good facial language and expression, so that the conversation is moving in a straight way. And the last one, what I'm going to tell about is that the written form of communication. So it is very, very important, right? Everywhere we go, we have to have the documentation to record the conversation, to record the information or conversation that has been happening. So we go into a meeting. Let us take we go into a meeting. We have to have the knowledge that what is going to happen in the meeting, what has happened in the meeting, and what all we have discussed. Because after attending the meeting or taking the meeting, one has to present it to the uh, top management to provide the knowledge on what meeting and what are the important points we have discussed. So here, what is the important point is that we should have the minutes of meeting. It is all very important whenever and wherever the meeting has been connected. And second one is the most used conversation. What I told is that email. So there are particular etiquette. There are particular do's and don'ts when you write an email. So I'll go one by one in the next videos, like how to write an email, how to use how what all the things you have to use while using an email. And next one is like the sales letter, customer letter, or the client letter you are going to use. So all this is having a particular etiquette, do's and don'ts to uh, do. That is what are the points you have to do, what are the points you have to avoid. So all this should be very particularly noted and start very particularly noted. So before that, going separately into each and one thing, that's the most common thing we have to understand in the written communication is that we have to have the simple language while writing. So we should avoid the complex words that is available. We might have a good vocabulary also, so that is very different way. But we should use a very simple language so that the other person is also going to understand. We don't know like what kind of the information might be shared to different persons. So let us try. Let us think we are going to write an email to our teacher requesting for a leave or permission or whatever or a project work. So we have to have it in a very simple way so that the information is being passed to the teacher, the head of the department, and to the college principal. And next one, let us take the example in a workplace. So we are writing an email to our customer. So if we are writing to the email to the customer, it may go into the hands of several people. So should be very careful while using the words. We should not use very complex vocabulary. We should use simple words and make the meaning in a very clear way. And there will be particular template for each emails. So if it is a customer email, there is a particular template. It is a sales email, there is a particular template. If it is a common email, general information that is being passed to your different customers, there is a information you want to try to the client. It is different. So there should be, you should follow a particular template to convey your information to the different persons. Okay, so you should be very careful in using the template. And most important thing while using this written communication is that one should never forget about the salutation. So we have to begin with the greetings or good morning, whatever it may be. The salutation is very, very important whenever you start and writing a letter. So more than the from to and all that, now like everything has become digitalized. We are not using any normal paper pen format anymore. So it is going to be digitalized. So it is going to be in an email conversation. So you have to start it with the salutation. So you have to start good morning or good evening, whatever time it has been, and it is most commonly used one is the greetings. So you have to welcome the person and use the proper salutations. And next one is you have to use the words correctly. So when we are talking with a person who is very close to us or the one we are regularly meeting, we'll use dear sir or dear madam. So see, when we are communicating with the person who is not known to us, maybe there is a client we don't know if it is reaching the manager or any other person. It may be a madam or sir. So it is advisable to use it as sir or madam. So only when we are having a regular conversation with this person, it is advisable to use the dear sir and madam. Nowadays we are using dear sir and madam more commonly, but it is advisable to use to have a common language. That is, you have to use sir, bar, madam to address the email. Then you should have the content properly. You should have the simple language, as I mentioned earlier. Should avoid the complex words. We should have the straight information, and we should have the proper spacing between our emails or the letter we are using. So that the information reaches the other person more clearly. Let us now try to understand when we are getting a letter which is having the full kind of information from top to bottom and so many lines are being presented, means we will also be lost there. I mean, the information will be very lost there. We don't know where is the information, it is starting there or ending where. So you should have a crisp one. Your information should be very crisp, and you should have separation in your paragraphs. And finally, what you will have is that you will be thanking the person as usual. So as I said earlier, salutations is more important. Whatever email it may be, you have to have the word that as thanks and convey your regards to the person, whoever it may be. So these are the main important points while writing a email. So next one is what, like as I said, you have the proper agenda for writing a conversation that has happened for a meeting, like minutes of meeting, all that you will have proper template. And here also what you have to use the simpler language to make a note of it. Maybe after attending this meeting, minutes of meeting may be useful to some other person. So you should be very clear in writing your point, what has happened and all that, what are the points you have discussed in your meeting, and the what all has happened, everything should be in a very simpler way. So these are the very key points that you should remember while starting a written communication. So now that you should have got information about how the verbal, non-verbal, and written communications are useful. And the last one is that it is very I would have not mentioned it earlier because it's that it is a very common part of in the common part of communication that may be used. It is the visual communication. That is, it may come in the formal communication as also. It will come in the informal communications also. It is a very simple thing. It is the usage of pictures and drawings, sketches, and all to convey the informations. So nowadays we have all start. I mean, now it is very actually lessly used. It will be most usefully in the presentation only, or the conference or the debate we are presenting. So usage of pictures or the sketches is depending upon the information that has been conveyed. Okay, so that is very small part, but here also you should be careful about choosing the pictures or images. So that's why with this video, our next video is going to be a very interesting video that might be suitable for the present kind of situation. So keep waiting for our videos. So watch our videos. To subscribe to our channel, like and share with your friends and family. Kindly do support. Thank you.